seconds away on Studio 5. Fresh from his multiple Billboard wins, Anthony Brown is in Studio 5 looking to the future.
I would love to take music to another place.
Then comedian Rickey Smiley.
None of my dad, I'm your dad.
Has an inside look at the unscripted new season of his hit reality show. Plus, bringing the Bible to life on the big stage. Studio 5 starts now.
Your presence is water, Jesus. Your presence is water. Your presence is water. Your presence is water. Oh, come fill me. Come fill me. Come fill me. Again, Lord, your presence is water.
Your presence is water. That's the beautiful sound of Anthony Brown and Group Therapy. The group made a clean sweep at this year's Stellar Gospel Music Awards with 10 trophies. They also just landed Billboard wins and Grammy nominations. We're sitting down with Anthony Brown in a moment. Welcome to Studio 5. We've got Anthony Brown and Rickey Smiley with us today. But first, let's begin with a look at today's top 5 from Studio 5. At number 5, former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow is writing a book. Shaken, Discovering Your True Identity in the Midst of Life's Storms is about keeping your faith during seasons of disappointment. It's due out in the fall and includes a companion Bible study. Another former NFL star has this week's number 4 spot.
Tear the park down, I'ma tear the park down.
Terry Crews will host the first reality show on Netflix in the U.S., and Sylvester Stallone will produce the competition that pits athletes from around the globe against each other in grueling obstacle courses, all fighting for the title of Ultimate Beastmaster, which is also the name of the show. At number 3, a letter from Bob Dylan.
By His grace I have been touched, by His word I have been healed.
The handwritten note from the music legend is up for auction, and in it, Dylan refers to the Spirit of the Lord, quotes scripture, and references his faith. And now to number 2.
Here's Emmy, Grammy, and Screen Actors Guild Award winner Louis C.K.
Comedian Louis C.K. wins Jeopardy and donates his $50,000 winnings to the women's health organization, the Fistula Foundation.
Well, your charity is going to get $50,000.
It's an all-volunteer organization dedicated to ending suffering caused by the childbirth injury called obstetric fistula. And finally, number 1.
I've called this message tonight, Occupy All Streets.
The pastor of Hillsong, New York, sits down with Oprah for Super Soul Sunday. Carl Lentz joins a growing list of spiritual leaders who've appeared on the show: Deepak Chopra, T.D. Jakes, Rob Bell, and Maya Angelou. Lentz posted a photo with Oprah on Instagram saying, quote, "She told me her key was waking up each day and thanking Jesus."
There was not a person on earth that when Jesus was walking the earth that he did not minister to, that he did not impact.
And those are your top 5 for this week. Anthony Brown scored this year's Stellar Award for Male Vocalist of the Year. He and his group Therapy also earned the award for Song of the Year and Artist of the Year. The Baltimore native is enjoying his latest success, but this isn't the dream he had for himself. He's sitting down with us for this week's Studio 5 interview.
So I could be free.
Anthony Brown and Group Therapy are the voices behind this chart-topping tune. It's simply called Worth.
Thought I was the devil.
Now, your music, the song Worth, has been number 1?
It has.
For
now,
a few weeks?
For a couple weeks, which is surprising to me. I was shocked. It's actually my first number 1.
Really?
Yeah. Testimony was great. It never got to number 1. It probably got to number 3, I think. So when my radio rep called me and said it was number 1, I was like, you gotta be kidding. And it has been there for a couple weeks.
Nice. Tell us about the song. What's the story behind it?
Man, you know, the song is so simple, you know, and I think when I wrote it, I never thought, because it's such a simple song, that it would go and translate so far. But I wrote it in communion service at my church. I was literally sitting in communion at First Baptist Church of Glenarden, which is my church. Pastor Jenkins was talking, and we were doing communion, and I started thinking about the whole concept that Jesus, the Son of God, died for my sins, that he thought I was worth that. And I took out my iPad and started writing, typing. You thought I was worth saving. And literally 4 lines came out and that was it. So I sung it at my church probably a month later just to test it out. And the response was so overwhelming that I knew I got to record this, And I just thought it was so simple and so minuscule, but obviously it's resonated with a lot of people.
Love the song as
Thank
well.
you. Thanks.
What have people been saying to you about it?
I get a lot of emails that really touch my heart. I'm talking about this very reluctantly because it does create emotion in me, but to know that there are people out there who struggle with their identity, they struggle with knowing that they're worth anything. And I think society makes people feel like they can never live up to a certain standard or become whatever that standard is. And to hear that the song, those words, are resonating with people in a way where they're like, no, I know that I'm worth something. I know that God created me for a purpose. It means so much to me. I wrote it, like I said, in my church, and to know that it's gone so far away out of this country and just across the world, for me, it blows my mind.
This may be his first #1 single, but the Baltimore native and classically trained pianist isn't new to music.
I grew up a pastor's kid, so I grew up in church all of my life. Started playing when I was 3 years old, and took my first minister of music job when I was 12, teaching a bunch of adults. So,
you say at 12?
At 12 years old, I'm up there, on the piano teaching a bunch of adults, and I'm like, who is this kid? But it's always been my passion, always been my desire to use the gift that God gave me. I saw myself doing Disney. That's what I wanted to be. So I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna take you, me, we're going over to Disney, we're gonna do The Lion King. That's what I wanted to do. And I saw those characters and the songs, that's my style, I love it. And so it wasn't this. I definitely saw myself more Broadway and Disney, but God had a plan.
How did the path begin this way? So you're thinking Broadway and so forth. How does the path push you here?
Well, I'm a servant by nature, and so there are different artists who I love, namely this lady named Marette Brown Clark, who is, she's like my mom, she's my heart. And she was doing a project, and I said, Mom, so I called her, I wrote a song that I think I want you to hear. And we were driving to a concert. She was going to be in concert with Rickey Smiley, and I really wanted to go because I'm a humongous Rickey Smiley fan. And I said, I have this song, I want you to hear it. She said, okay. And so I'm driving with her, no track, no music, and I just say, I know the odds look stacked against you, and it seems there's no way out. And I'm singing the song, It Ain't Over, and she just starts crying.
So just know it ain't over.
The song rose to #1 for Marette Brown Clark, and Anthony would go on to write hits for gospel greats like Donnie McClurkin, Donald Lawrence, Stephen Hurd, and Vashawn Mitchell, who actually encouraged Brown to record his first project, Testimony.
I sent Vashawn Testimony when I finished recording it. And I said, I'm going to release it at my church. I just want you to hear it. Tell me what you think. He called me immediately and he said, you cannot release that song at your church. I said, why not?
It's home.
Right, exactly. He's like, no, that song needs to be heard by way more people than you have access to. I'm like, Vashawn, I've tried this, that, and the third. He said, what if I can find a situation for you that you really like? I said, okay. And that night he called me with, who is now my label president, on the phone. And 2 weeks later, I signed a deal.
And that was the public birth of the group the world now knows as Anthony Brown and Group Therapy. Now, the group behind your voice,
yeah,
Group Therapy, the AP stands for something. Tell me about how this group started. And
yeah, the AP is always capitalized in therapy, and it's because the group used to be called Answered Prayers. They've been with me for 15 years. We met in college, and it wasn't like, Lord, send me a group, you know what I mean? It was like I was in a practice room one day playing some songs. I'm like, hey, you, come here, sing this song. And that's literally what happened. 15 years later, we're still doing it. You, and you, come here and sing this song. We never signed any contracts. They are literally my family. And when I moved to California, they moved to California. Nobody knows this, so I'm telling you something super exclusive. I moved to California. They all quit their jobs and they moved to California with me and moved into my 1-bedroom apartment. So we have one bedroom, all the guys are in the living room, all the girls are in the bedroom. And that's where the unit, the tightness, the closeness of group therapy comes from, because we literally have been to the backside of the mountain and back together.
So what can we expect next? What's going to happen?
Wow, you know, you never know. I have big dreams, and doing music is one of those things, but I would love to take music to another place. In my mind, I want to fuse something that looks like Cirque du Soleil goes gospel. I see it being on a stage. I see it being theatrical and performance driven. But taking the gospel to that arena, I think opens us up to so many more people who may never step foot in the church. And so if I have my way next year, I'll be doing something like that.
If you caught the Billboard Music Awards this past weekend, you saw that Brown took home 3 awards: Top Gospel Artist, Top Gospel Album, and Top Gospel Song for Worth. Next up on Studio 5.
I don't have no anger issues, and you ain't qualified to diagnose me.
Throw away the script. We're getting real with comedian and talk show host Rickey Smiley.
It is a reason for me disappointed, Brandon, because you was in jail last week. So my business partner and friend texted me to tell me that he got my son, Brandon, out of jail. Now, his agreement with Brandon was, I'm gonna bail you out, but you have to call and explain all of this to your father. Brandon have not called me, said anything to me.
I'm curious, so you go to jail and you don't call your dad, or you don't want him to know that you're in jail? Why is that?
Because he told me if I go to jail, I'm on my own, and I can respect that.
I don't get grown men out of jail.
And that was a clip from Rickey Smiley for Real. Joining me now is the man at the center of the show, actor, comedian, and radio talk show host Rickey Smiley. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, Ephraim, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, even better that I'm talking to you. You know, on your show, you are very open about your family. Do you regret any of that openness?
Oh, no, not at all. So, you know, a lot of stuff that go on in a single-parent home, you have to have these conversations because it's real.
Now, you're talking about 5 kids, some by adoption. What are the challenges of having this blended family?
Not at all. You know, I mean, you put kids under the same roof, they eat at the table together, they bond instantly. So it was no challenges there. We talk about it on the docuseries. We have conversations about getting the last name changed and going through the court proceedings, you know, for all of that. So it addressed everything. So we're gonna swim with sharks today.
You Black folks don't do sharks. That's some stuff you see on Shark Week. We ain't about that shark water life.
Here we go, y'all. Take me to the water. We get in the water. We're gonna swim with these sharks. If white people can do it on Shark Week, we can do it on Spring Break Week. Okay, who made bubbles just now?
He drove over there.
You know, I'm a parent as well, and one of the things that you touched on in the show is the fact that your children by birth, in terms of their gratitude, may not be as much as, or they don't get it as much as maybe the children by adoption, correct?
Yeah, you know, some kids just kind of grow up with a sense of entitlement, you know, and might have the wrong perspective and the wrong attitude when it comes to certain things. But my daughters, you know, who I adopted, who I raised since they were babies, just kind of do everything right, most stuff right, 98% of things right. Attitude is probably the best, you know, and just have made parenting really easy, especially my youngest daughter, you know, who really get it. Everything, you know, it's like I kind of take the Alabama football approach, you know, Nick Saban, how he get players in, but no matter how good they were in high school, he'd get them in and he'd develop them. So what I'm trying to do is, what I get to do with kids, when I get them in the house, I develop them. I teach them how to be, etiquette, table manners. I address all of those things on Rickey Smiley for Real. And so they're in the development stage, and some are developing well, and some are not developing, and you will see that.
Rickey Smiley, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, you can catch the second season of Rickey Smiley for Real on Tuesdays at 8, 7 Central on TV1. We'll see you then.
Hey, thank you, Ephraim.
Thank you.
Still to come on Studio 5, setting the stage for the Bible.
It's interesting and fascinating that the Lord would pick 2 dairy farmers from Lancaster County to build a theater in the middle of a cornfield in Amish country and produce Bible stories.
We're going behind the scenes of Sight and Sound theaters.
Sight and Sound theaters bring Bible stories to life in the largest faith-based theaters in the country. For 40 years, the family-friendly productions deliver massive sets, huge cast, and spectacular special effects. Studio 5 was invited to a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to make scriptures come alive.
Sight and Sound theaters have often been called Christian Broadway. On its stages, stories of the Bible become modern-day productions. Each year, around 1 million people from around the world visit Sight and Sound locations in Branson, Missouri and Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a long way from its humble beginnings 4 decades ago.
It's interesting and fascinating that the Lord would pick 2 dairy farmers from Lancaster County to build a theater in the middle of a cornfield in Amish country and produce Bible stories, and people will come.
Huge sets, live animals, and a 300-foot panoramic stage put audiences in the center of the story.
I'm Samson. You never heard of me?
Nope.
The Lancaster location ranks as one of the top 3 theater destinations in the country. And here, the talented cast delivers a jaw-dropping performance of the story of Samson, the original superhero.
There's a scene in this show where the angel of the Lord comes to Samson and he says, he's trying to have him understand this grace theme. And the angel says, Samson, just like your hair, it can get cut, but it's going to grow back. That's how grace is. You can cut grace out of your life, but God's not going to stop pursuing you.
Each show is a little bit unique, has a unique flavor to it, and the story really drives a lot of that. Like Samson's a good example. It's a tough story to tell, pretty gritty story. So we took an opportunity to add some lighthearted moments into this show to help balance that out, keep it very family friendly. So it has a different feel than, say, Moses, which would have been the last new show that we produced.
Sight and Sound invited CBN News behind the scenes for an up-close look at how the show comes together.
But there are so many things packed into these sets.
Over the years, shows have expanded to include the splendor of Easter, joys of Christmas, and Moses. Still, the theater's message has remained the same. Tell Bible stories that honor God for people of all ages.
We love hearing parents say, we saw the show 2 months ago and my 6-year-old won't stop talking about Samson or won't stop asking these questions. And we went home and we read the Bible story maybe for the first time and they're intrigued by these characters. That to me is the best compliment we get. And our goal is to, every production we do, to be relevant and impactful, no matter if you're 3 years old or 93.
And each ticket comes with a promise.
Sight and Sound's commitment is to take them back in time, to immerse them in a Bible story, and to experience the love of the Lord, you know, through who we are, what we do, on the stage and off the stage, and to create an atmosphere where they and their family can have an encounter with Jesus.
When the show is over, there is no curtain call, and the names of the cast members are not listed in the program, keeping with the theater's goal.
We want them to talk about the message or how I might have been impacted, or wow, I've got to read that scripture again. I don't remember that story that way. I need to go check that out, you know. We want to send people back to seeking the Lord and focused on Him. So for us, that was the goal. So it was really, I don't think we ever sat down and made a decision of, you know what, no curtain calls, no names in the program, so to speak. It was more just naturally, why would we do that? We want the focus to be on the message of the show and on the Lord as people are leaving the show. Not about us, but about Him.
Still to come on Studio 5. You met the family of comedian Rickey Smiley. Next up, we're looking at a new short film series on family and faith.
A new short film series on faith and family debuts this month. It is called Parent Compass. Take a look.
There's times when you don't think you're going to make it through the storm.
I just did not have a relationship with my parents.
My choice to move in with my dad and stepmom felt uncomfortable, it felt strange, in some ways it felt wrong.
I was so frustrated I actually threw the book across the room.
Wow, what's going on with Rachel?
I felt disqualified. That just would never be our family.
The series creators say the stories are from families from across races and incomes, and all conversations point to God's direction in daily family interactions. You can see the entire first episode on my blog. Simply head to cbn.com/Studio 5. Right now, it's time to take a look at what we're working on for next week's Studio 5.
Mandisa's Good Morning tune was meant to get your feet moving. Meet the music man behind that tune, plus other countless hits for her, Toby Mac, Jeremy Rosado, and the list goes on. Aaron Rice is sharing the pleasure and pain of award-winning songwriting.
I had a song in God's Not Dead, and it's called What I Know. And it's probably the hardest song I've ever written.
And that is next week. Today's final word is a musical one that brings this show full circle. Jeremy Rosado is a former American Idol contestant who will be joining us for next week's episode for an up-close look at his music journey. But today, Jeremy is leaving us with his rendition of Anthony Brown's Billboard and Stellar Award-winning song, Worth.
You thought I was worth saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you sacrificed your life. You thought I was to die for, Lord, so you sacrificed your life. So I could be free, so I could be whole, and I will tell everyone I know.
He thought we all were worth saving. That is the final word for this edition of Studio 5. Until next time, reach out and touch me at Ephraim Graham on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week.